These electric cars, all you got to do is mash it. Oh, good day, everybody. This week we've been driving the Lexus RZ450e. This is the top of the line. This is the luxury trim version of the all-wheel drive. That's what makes it the 450e. Let's go ahead and turn it off. And unlike its cousins, the Subaru Solterra or the Toyota BZ4X, I think it is, this is a fully baked product from Lexus. Again, this one's coming in at $68,000. I don't think anybody's paying that price. There's some incredible lease deals on these, but again, you have the 300e and then you have the 450e. The 300e is new for 2024, and that is a two-wheel drive model. Let's hop out and take a look. This is in the Copper Crest color. This color did debut on the RX. The RX is Lexus' most popular vehicle. You can see one right down there. For that buyer, Lexus came up with an EV. So this kind of has the silhouette of an RX. It's actually a little bit smaller than an RX. And you know, this color is bold. I don't hate it. I'm not sure I would buy it. The one thing I'm not a big fan of is the black bonnet, the black front here. But on other colors, this does look pretty good. We're going to talk about range out on the drive because that seems to get the most headlines when you start talking about the RZ. But what we're going to talk about today is just how good of a car. If you just ignore the fact that it's electric, this is actually a good vehicle. One of the big things, this has 20-inch. Again, this is the luxury trim. The 20-inch is a range hit, but we'll get into that. Like I said, on the front you have a 235 and on the back you have a 255, so that's just something to keep in mind. These are 20s but bigger wheels on the back. And then as far as drivetrain goes, we have a electric motor on the front that's providing about 200 horsepower to these wheels, and we have another electric motor on the back putting about 100 horsepower to those rear wheels. This is 4,600 pounds. That does not sound like a lot of power, but when we get it out there, you'll see that it moves really, really well. But it looks like a normal car. And again, if you're going to go in to buy one of those, an RX, Lexus has this here for you. You know, you can dip your toe. If you're a Lexus loyalist, you can dip your toe in the EV waters because it looks like a regular car. This light does light up at night when it's charging. You got cameras and sensors all over the place. You got pop-out headlight washers on the front. It'll also wash the cameras in the back there. Kicked open as you would expect. Let's just hop in here from the sun. I hope the sun glare is not getting any here. You know, this actually has a little bit more room than that RX down here behind the seat, but you do have a pretty shallow entry. I don't know, it's like 30 some cubic feet of storage. I'll put the numbers up there under the seat. You do have some extra storage down here. You know, obviously no spare tire on these cars, and you can reach in and go ahead and throw those seats down. Also decent hooks. You do have a couple hooks here. You have a 12-volt here. Pretty basic storage area. All right, just looking in the back seat here, we do have what Lexus considers their top of the line upholstery. No leather here. You do get this blue suede material. It looks great. I do like the materials. You know, this is classic Lexus. All the materials are top notch. I think this blue is actually cool. They got some blue mixed in with some white. They got some black. They got some grays. It all works. It all really works well. However, I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not a big fan of sitting in these sort of suede seats. I just don't like it. It just grabs my back, and I'd rather kind of have some freedom on some leather. So back here we do have an AC, no grounding plug though, but it is 120 volts, 100 watts. You do have rear heated seats in this trim level, and we have two USB-Cs back here. And as far as the seat comfort goes, plenty of leg room. I will say the seats are a little low. I'm not that tall, but I do have some gaps under my thighs. So if you I can see a lot of people with some knees in their face. This seat sits down low, I think because the floor is high due to this architecture. Oh, and we do have, you can see the sun up there. You can actually see it. I hope it's safe to look at. But this does have the fancy photoelectric or electrochromic, I don't know what exactly the name of it is, sunroof, and we'll demo that also. Here is your charge port. And you know, it's a little cheesy, you know, along with the blue seats, the blue cloth seats, and this is probably my second ding. It's just how cheesy this feels. But they did add these 3 little horizontal bars so you know where to press. We do have puddle lights down here that say Lexus below there. Kind of like my third kind of nitpick on this car is I only have 2-way lumbar in and out. I cannot raise that up or down, but this is an 8-way powered driver's seat. I also have a powered passenger seat, but no lumbar over there. So maybe that's my 4th nitpick right now. Again, at this price point, when I turn the car on, I do have a powered steering wheel adjustment right there. Nice and quiet. Yes, on the luxury trim, we get extra thick glass. We also get the Mark Levinson, like 15 speakers in here. And yes, it's a premium sounding system. And as quiet as the RZ is, this is a great place to listen to music. But anyway, let's start it up. A little bit of chimes there. Now over here on the passenger side, maybe another ding here, there is no passenger, there is no glove box. And so this kind of sits kind of high. However, this is a very unique radiant heater. So in the wintertime when it's cold, you'll get some radiant heat down on your legs. You'll also get your heated seats. So the whole idea is that, you know, you can heat yourself up more directly than trying to heat the whole cabin up and save some energy. On the driver's side, we also have a little radiant heater down here to heat my legs up. But the weather's been beautiful. Obviously haven't had to run the air conditioner too much, and obviously haven't had to use the heat. We do have a wireless phone charger down here that works great. Seems like Toyota, Lexus products always have the good phone charger, so phone doesn't slide around too much. Storage wise, I guess I missed this. Storage wise, because this is an electric vehicle, you do have a little bit of extra under there. It's not wide enough to stick anything large, and you do have this dual flipping compartment here to throw some stuff in. You can open it that way, you can open it this way. 2 really good high quality cup holders. These grab even the largest cups pretty well. And then I do like this material here. Not a lot of piano black, so thumbs up there. They did do it here. We didn't need it, Lexus. You could have just gone all the way and got rid of this piano black right here. Drive, got this little, I'm up to like my 4th or 5th nitpick, but I am in reverse right now, and for some reason I am appreciative of the fact that it's letting me know I'm in reverse. I just don't like that sound. I just want a more pleasant sound. So let's put it back in park there. I can push it down for neutral, push it down and over for drive, push it down over for reverse. I can turn my traction control off here. I do have a parking brake there, and I do have I can have the car hold itself when it's in traffic and take my foot off the brake. And we'll get into all the 1-pedal driving stuff, because this does not have true 1-pedal driving, but you can adjust your regenerative braking with these paddles. They don't shift anything. We got this oddly placed power button on and off, but you know, it's easy to see. We have 2 USB-Cs here. We have a third one, which is Signal. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay, does have wireless Android Auto. It's hooked up every time. It's been very good this week as far as hooking up. If you do want to wire it in, you can also do that. Down here, we do have some buttons for our automatic parking. I have not demoed this or try it, but this will park itself for you. I've seen mixed results from folks online trying that out, and I do have a whole host of different camera views on this car, which is very useful, and you'll see that. We'll demo that on the drive. I also have a physical button for my front defroster and my rear defroster. Nitpick, what am I up to now? 6 or 7? No rear wiper. Did I even point out the crab claws? Yeah, we have the 2 crab claws right here. Yeah, what do you think about those? So apparently this is some aerodynamics to get that back window cleared off along with the spoiler. Yeah, but no wiper. So, and then I have a volume knob right here. Feels decent, kind of plasticky feeling. And then I have the Toyota Lexus infotainment system. Again, I have Apple CarPlay, and I have all the menus I can sit up here. My general settings, going into my car, entertainment, my phone, and then this one does have navigation, which is if you subscribe to a monthly service, you'll get real-time updates there. And then you have CarPlay back here, which works great. And you can even make the CarPlay even bigger by doing that, and then it takes up the hall of the real estate there. The bottom part of this screen is all climate, your seat heaters, your ventilated seats, your heated steering wheel, and on-off fan speed. So this all stays up. I'd rather it be physical buttons, but at least it's there and it's easy to access. Nitpick 7, 8, 6, I don't know. It's probably this digital gauge cluster. It looks like it came out of the Toyota Corolla hybrid. That is it. You get nothing else, but you do have a heads-up display that does quite a bit. I'm not sure if you can see that over there. So anyway, they've taken a lot out of here. They've put it up there. I'm kind of neutral about it. I didn't like it in the TX, but now that I've spent another week with this, I do actually, I get it. I can't say I love it, but I do get it. Oh, and then the final thing. Yes, I almost forgot the party trick. Okay, so here, this is the electric sunroof. Electrochromic, I guess it is. It open, close, kind of neat. And when it is in opaque mode like it is right now, it does cut the heat, so it does a good job of that. But like a lot of EVs with their glass roofs, it gets a little milky colored. It's not real clear, but yeah, so it's kind of neat. I'm not sure it's worth the money or not, but I'd like just a physical shade. I think that would work. And then nice clear glass. I think that's what everybody would like, not this milky colored stuff with this gimmick. But it's a cool party trick. Okay, let's get her out for a drive. Let's talk range. Okay, before we do get out on that drive, I can go over here to car and I can change to normal. And you can see with the air conditioning on normal mode, I'm at 147 miles of range. If I put it in eco mode, that's really going to change the way the AC works. It's going to dial it back so it's not crazy, and I get 155 miles of range. If I go over into sport, you can see 147, or this even has a sort of a limp mode range, not a limp mode, but it'll cut power to that rear motor, and I'll get up to 161 miles of range with 74% state of charge. Let's roll, and then we'll get into some more details about that. Okay, I got a car behind me. Oh, the lovely beep. The quiet of an electric car. Bad sun angles right now. This is the early evening. We try to shoot early in the morning here at Beyond the Test Drive. Kind of know where the sun's coming from most of the time before it gets too high. But, you know, you got to roll with it. All right. Let's lay down some power here. Oh, I felt that outside front wheel lift off. You know, the RZ has made more headlines for its lack of range than some of the other things that Toyota Lexus have done here. First of all, they've made a solid driving Lexus. This is a Lexus, and you know, it's not, you know, other than the quiet propulsion that is you know, we're experiencing right now, it's pretty much a regular vehicle. There's no fancy crazy screens. They didn't even bother doing any special software. You know, you can't even go in here in your navigation and say, hey, I want to go here, and it's not going to tell you where to stop or charge. It's just really basic as far as that. So yeah, this is just driving a Lexus. And a couple things that Toyota and Lexus will say about this battery is, I don't know, it's 72 kilowatt hours. They only let you use like low 60s, and Toyota is very, very adamant about managing this battery for longevity. Again, Toyota, Lexus, they're known for reliability, and they have gone out of their way to make sure everything about this battery management, range, charge speed makes this a reliable system. The downside of that is, you know, charge speeds aren't great, and overall range is not great with how they're doing that. So now the other thing that should be pointed out is the efficiency of this. I've been seeing at least 3.5 miles per kilowatt hours, regardless of how I've driven it. And the other thing I want to point out about the range is right now it says 153. Over a week of driving, I have found this to be really, really accurate. I've never been able to sort of undercut it. I've either met it or exceeded it. So there's range honesty on board here as far as what it can get. If I charge this to 100% and keep it in that eco mode, I'm gonna get about 212 miles. You know, Toyota Lexus, they're not diving in to the full electric arena. They have pioneered the hybrid. They have 20 years of their blood, sweat, and tears into making the best hybrid system on the planet. So they're not just gonna walk away from that. And they have been very clear that the amount of materials it takes to make the battery in this RZ could make many, 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 many hybrids. And if you do want to road trip this, you know, if you buy one of these or lease one of these, you know, Lexus has you covered. They actually have a program where for 10 days a year, 30 days over 3 years, you can get one of their other cars. You can borrow it for a road trip. The other thing I will mention with range is that these 20-inch wheels, if you go back to the 18s, you're going to get another, you know, if they hit you about 10%, you can get another 20 miles, which would put you up in the 220. If you like Lexus because they give you a smooth and quiet experience, well, this kind of takes it as far as it can go right now, because this is very smooth, very quiet, as you can imagine an EV is. It rides pretty much like you'd expect the Lexus to. This is a little bit firmer than something like an RX. You know, it's really tricky with a basic suspension setup, you know, without any type of adjustable dampers or anything, to get these things to ride comfortable yet sporty. But Lexus has managed to find a good medium ground there. It is a little on the firm side, but very, very comfortable. This is like 4,600 pounds. So if you like the way the RX drives or rides, you know, you may find this a little firm, but not atrocious. It's still comfortable. Now, power delivery is interesting because this is a front wheel drive biased setup, and all the power is on the front wheels. This thing is blazing quick. I think it will get to 60 in less than 5 seconds. However, the power comes on really gradually. It doesn't jump like crazy, and again, it's trying to control keeping those front wheels from roasting themselves. So the power comes on real gradual. So this does not feel like a sub or 5-second car. It has that EV push to it. Yeah, just jumping off there. Woohoo! Yeah, it builds. So right off the line, you know, if you're test driving one of these and you're like, well, this doesn't feel like a 5-second car, you just got to give it some time to let that speed build. All four wheels are always driving the car at all time. I can go over here to car, I can put it in, and you can see and the other thing I do like is that they haven't really tricked this out with a bunch of crazy sounds. It's just a real subtle noise coming into the cabin, and I think it's really good. I think I like what they've done with the sound here. I don't know if you can hear that. There is no electric motor. You do not hear the electrical whirring of anything in this car. It's pretty well isolated from in here. So really, really quiet, solid feeling. It's really well put together. So again, the Lexus buyer wants that Lexus driving experience. You're gonna love this. It's like a vault. It's like a library in here. As far as handling goes, you know, the steering, it's actually pretty quick with all that weight down low. Let's go ahead. Now I can put it into sport mode, Sport mode does stiffen the steering, and you get a little bit more of a touchy throttle there, just so, but no change on the suspension. This does not have an adaptable suspension. Whew, man. Yeah, so back to the steering. So it's actually pretty firm, whether it's in sport or normal. It's weighted really, really well, and it's actually pretty quick. Turn-in is good. It's completely numb. There, you know, even on sharp turns, there's nothing coming back from up through the wheel, but it's weighted really, really nice. It's quick. So that, I guess that's been my conundrum this week with the RZ, is it's blazing quick. Now it does start losing some gusto at the top end there, but that's all EVs. It's blazing quick. The steering is good. Yeah. It handles pretty good for a 4,600 pound SUV, but is it fun to drive? That's been my conundrum this week, because I do enjoy EVs, but I can't say this is fun. It's entertaining maybe, but it's not like I just want to go out and do this, even though it can. Yeah, I guess you could have some fun with it. Okay, so I do not have the brakes. Let's go back over to normal mode. I do not have the brakes. Let's see what's going on with the sun visor here. Okay, good. Good there. Block that sun out over there. Go ahead and turn up the regenerative braking. I'm on the maximum, so you can see it's slowing it down. It is not one pedal driving, but even if this were strong enough to have one pedal driving, this is probably the setting that I like. But if I do need to get on the brakes, I do enjoy doing that. So I'm not like a big one pedal fan. Stop and go traffic, I like it. But here, no, they do not have full one pedal driving, but this is pretty good. So you can see it slowing down. Yeah. Now the brake pedal is a little mushy. The only time I've been a little hard on the brakes, or not liking the brakes too much, is when the regen is in full regen, you know, maxed out on regen mode. And then if you get through that, if you get through the pedal a little bit there, like right here, I'll try to bring it down slow. Oh, see, it gets a little grabby. It's a lot of regen, and you have to push through the pedal a little bit, and it gets grabby. Really pulls this thing down in a hurry. What's not to like here? Again, if you are a Lexus owner, you're gonna love this. Yeah, and I guess that would just kind of bring me to my final little nit, is that, yeah, I would like this to be rear wheel biased. You know, the 200 horsepower back there, the 100 up here. I think that would change this driving dynamics. Okay, as we work our way over to the highway, I would like to pause for a second and give a big hearty thank you for pressing play today and joining us on this drive. And to all of our subscribers, a mega thanks. We really appreciate your support. And if you're new here, we'd love for you to check out all of our content at Beyond the Test Drive. If you like what you see, subscribe. We'd love to have you along for the ride. You know, this car does beg the road trip because it is really quiet. I measured 64 dB at 70 miles per hour. This is the quietest car I've tested, and just to my own ear, it's whisper quiet. It's all road noise. The wind noise is very, very subdued. No buffeting at all. So yeah, super comfortable. The seats are very, very comfortable. Despite not having that adjustable lumbar, I have found them to be very comfortable. I do want my leather though. I do not want to sit in this stuff all day. So, you know, crank that Mark Levinson system, get out on your commute, and have a good time. What Lexus is giving us here is the Lexus driving experience and the reputation that this will be around for a while. It's not a disposable EV like some of us fear those others are. Well, if you're an EV fan or a Lexus fan, we want to hear from you. We want to hear about the color, the styling, whether this range works for you, whether you bought one or not, whether you're thinking about buying one. Leave your questions and comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like if we brought you any value. And as always, have a great day, morning or evening, wherever you may be.